There we go. Now I've hit record. I got it. Okay. And I've lost you guys down at the bottom of my screen where I don't like it. Okay. Oh, big stretch too. Okay, so yeah, we're kind of wrapping up, guys. I kind of did a bit of a marathon for grading things, and I think I've got oh, I see I've got 9 more essays. I did get those done the other night, so I have 9 more to do that have been popped in there. Chris, what's up?
That just reminded me, I totally forgot. But so it happened to me again where I can see the notification of my mark, but when I go under grades, it doesn't exist anymore. It's not marked anymore.
What the heck?
Yeah, it's doing it again.
Sure, mine does the same thing too.
Well, I'm gonna have to fix that, otherwise I won't be able to like,
That's
because that automatically does the grades, right? So hold on, I'm just gonna stop sharing for a second so I can look at this and just see. Dropbox, just yeah, association. It's not associated.
Okay.
Okay, that's why.
Yeah. I don't know how this got messed up. I mean, I do this the same every single term. I transfer my things over and they work. And this time it obviously didn't make the right connections. So I'm just going to try to associate it now. But what happened last time is because I had already graded things, it wouldn't do it. So I had to manually enter them. So I might have to do that again, which I'll try. Maybe I can get to it tonight. And it's not showing up. Category, no category, short name essay.
It doesn't matter to me as long as like it doesn't give me a 0, at the end of the
course. No, actually the only thing it matters to is me with the grade calculations, right? Because I don't do this with a calculator anymore or anything, right? The program.
Right.
So that's where it messes things up, just for me, not for you guys. As long as you can see your grade, that's fine. And it's not giving me the option again. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to
manually do them.
Redo it. Like just enter them in manually. No big deal. Okay. Cancel that. And I think, so that's not associated. Discussions, that's fine because that's not a Dropbox item. Okay, thanks for letting me know, though. I will mess around with that and see if I can either fix it or put them in. Okay. Yeah, so right now I'll reshare. So yeah, right now we're in the last basically 3 weeks of the course, but 2 where we're doing activities and things. And then the week 13 is writing the quiz again. So the only thing that is going to be due for the Dropbox after this is the weeks 9 to 12 journals. Everything else has been, is due already. So if you haven't handed them in, make sure you do, please. And I'm going to go back to course home. So generally, like I said, I finish these courses up about a week early. So that gives me time to make sure I've got the final grades all done. I can check over the discussion postings, etc., and do those. So there's no surprises. You guys can look them over before the final date of the course. And if you want to have a discussion with me about your grades or anything, then we can talk about it. The one thing I will not do ever anymore is alter grades after the course end date, or accept any assignments after the course end date. Okay, I think I made that clear at the beginning, making it clear again right now for everybody that's going to be watching this. There's a lot of reasons for that, but over the years, it has just not worked out for me when we offer extensions past course end date. Okay, it's not good for you guys and it's not good for me. There's not a lot of leave time between these courses. I don't know if you guys, well, you guys realize that because you've been taking them, right? Like it's a pretty quick turnover to the new set. So, okay, but everybody so far that everything I've looked over has been great. Some amazing essays from everybody. Thanks very much. Really unique perspectives on things, and it made it a lot, it makes it enjoyable for me reading them. I'll be honest with you, when people are just giving me the bare facts about a topic, like I can read about 25 essays on memory, and I know all about memory because I get the same, facts. So a lot of you really took it on board, the instructions at the beginning about making it unique and from your point of view about a topic. And so it was really great to read those. Thank you. Okay, let's look at the last couple weeks then. We're kind of winding down. So we'll go into week 11, which I believe was the one where I had some problems with some links. And this is all about anxiety for week 11 and stress. But maybe should have done this about halfway through the course. That seems to be where people can start to get, anxiety and stress. At this point, you're like, phew, it's just about over. But this is what the topic's about. And this is a good topic for anybody who is working with children or even teenagers, or if you have any teenagers, children of your own or grandchildren. Unfortunately, we were just talking about Chris's example that fell with mental health issues, and mental health issues, anxiety are a huge, huge issue amongst children, right down to the JK level, what Sherry's working with, right? The little ones. You can even see it at those little fellows as well. Coming into school, we have children with so many anxiety disorders and behavior issues, that this is a very relevant topic. And as you know, Chris, and you guys, as an EA in a school, you might originally at the beginning of the year, you're assigned a student A and student B because they've been given, so much EA support because of difficulties, but you end up often being pulled to work with students that have mental health issues, anxiety issues, stress issues, because they're the ones that actually need a lot of support too. And it's so common now. I don't know why. I mean, I can theorize myself and we can look at this, but in 2021, I see a huge, huge increase in this from when I started in education 35 years ago. And it's awful to see, and people will theorize about whether it's society in general, child rearing practices, whatever it is, but it's there. And of course, with COVID, the last 2 years now, kind of in the forefront, that's kind of not help the situation at all, with children being out of school as much as they have, breaking routines, not seeing their peers as much, or even extended family. This has all been contributing. So that's what we're talking about this week. A lot of reading. I don't really have any videos for this week, but some online reading. The first one is a article on generalized anxiety disorder. And I'm just clicking through to make sure links are still working. The next one is on managing your stress. That's good. Yeah, this comes from Dartmouth, so you can read through all of that. And kids' health. It's an overview of anxieties and how to deal with them. Read through the links to the list on the right, it says. So on this one, this site's changed a little bit in the last few years, but it's still, you can kind of go down a rabbit hole here, explore as much as you want. I put the tab for teens because that's a particularly difficult time. So I tabbed this one. So you can go through and read that, but then these are the tabs I'm talking about on the side. You'll notice when you start clicking them, like anxiety disorder, it'll then bring you into more on other, obsessive compulsive disorder, test anxiety, etc., social phobia. You can, read as much as you want on this in this area, but I think it is a good topic to have a bit of background on. Then we get into test anxiety. So because you're coming up again to writing another test, and not just in this course, but if you're taking other courses, I'm sure you're doing it in other courses as well. So this is just a little site on how to study and test anxiety and how to reduce test anxiety. Okay. And then I used to have a link on here and it was from the CDC, and it was about COVID and stress. So this is just a little extra. And at the first time I put it in, that was the first term when, schools got closed. And I thought, well, I'll bring that off there, once this ends. Next year, it was the same thing again. So CDC had another article and so on. The CDC article kind of went missing. So I did put this one in a little bit, just sort of about the implications of COVID-19 for mental health and substance use. I thought that would be an interesting read, and it's still relevant. Okay, so that's week 11. And as far as activities then for week 11, read this article, Very Well Mind, How to Be Happy. Yep, so you can read through that. And the next one, go to the link below and take the quiz, post a comment on the results in the discussion section. And this is, what is your stress index? And then the next one, click on the above link and browse through the document, read through sections that capture interest, read the section stress management, and then in your journal list 5 of the suggested that's not written very well, is it? Of the suggestions on how to relax, and then list and describe 5 methods you found stressful. So just doing a little self-reflection on what you do to relieve stress in your life. I was reading this and I thought to myself, geez, I should probably do this myself, because I seem to be forgetting. Leave my daughter when I was with her the last couple of days, because she's going on a trip to the States for work for a week and a half. And I could see myself getting anxious about it. And she set herself such a hectic schedule. It's ridiculous. She's traveling all over the place, right from, Philadelphia and New Jersey, and then down to Texas and Louisiana, doing it all in a week and a half. And I was listening to her schedule and I was getting worked up, and she's renting vehicles, or her work's renting vehicles. She's got to drive for 5 hours a day. And I'm like, I could feel myself getting anxious. And she said that to me when we were having a bite to eat. She said, Mom, you don't need to, have to be so, stressed about things in my life. And I'm like, doesn't matter if you're 31 years old, that still affects me. And I found that now as I've gotten older, I actually think I'm more anxious, which I'm surprised. I never saw myself as that kind of a person. So I think I need to start doing some of these relaxation things and stop being. It used to be I was just stressed about my stuff. Now I'm stressed about my daughter's stuff, I think. So it's just compounded, right? Okay, so that's it for week 11. And that's right. I was looking just before we started. Oh yeah, it is there. Okay, so yeah, here's the link. And again, there's lots of links on the side that you can read about whatever you think are relevant for you. There's the 10 quick strategies then for stress management there on the side. Okay, yeah, I think I will be reading that over. Okay, so that's it for week 11. And week 12 is basically not really any work at all. This is just a quick overview of the exam. Okay, because I assume in week 12, you're going to want to do all your review and get prepared for the exam. So I thought I'd work that into the course. So basically the exam's going to be multiple choice, fill in the blanks, true and false, and short essay questions. Now, when I say short essay questions, I am going to let you know that the topics are going to be on something we've talked about during the course, so you can find information, spend a little bit of time, and make sure you manage your time so that you're able to do that and to make your jot notes and make a plan. So when I say showing evidence of planning, I can tell from reading it if it's been planned. What I'm talking about is, making jot notes, doing a little outline plan according to how we've talked about writing essays, okay? It doesn't have to be a full essay, though. It can just be a short response to these questions. All right. Again, the exam's open book and completed at home on your computer. So you're not booking it. You don't have to go anywhere. So that's why I call it an open book, because I'm not watching, nobody's watching you. So your studying is focused on how to find answers really, and making sure you know your materials and where they are and reading things over. You'll have 2 hours to finish. And it does say I'll deduct marks if it's not submitted with 2 hours of opening the file. I can see that, by the way. You'll be able to keep writing. It doesn't just stop. I know some exams, it'll just stop, but you'll be able to keep going. And all the time I do this, most people don't take more than 2 hours, usually about half of that. Yeah, so don't worry too much about that. Review your journal entries in preparation for the exam and review any notes you made for yourself. Since it's open book, you don't necessarily have to memorize information, but make sure you're aware of where to easily locate it. Online reading then, test taking tips and tips for online exams. There we go. So you can look through that and online exams. And I don't think it's true that if you pick C when you don't know an answer, it works. Chris, yes, sir.
Will the exam be open for a couple days like last time, or
Yep, a week.
a week? Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't put that in here. Did I put it on the next page? No, but it is open for the whole week.
Awesome.
I'm just gonna nip over there to see. December 7th to the 13th. Okay, everybody, just even those people hopefully that watch this afterwards, December 7th, 1 minute after midnight to December 13th at 11:30. Okay. It will not be extended if you forget to write it. I give you a whole week, guys. So, you know, if your computer's broken on the 7th or the 8th and you can't write it, better borrow one or go to library or something. Okay. So no excuses. It's not going to get extended. All right.
Carrie, I know you're getting land-based with all this workload that's coming in. When do you want us to send in our accommodations thing to you for the exam?
If you do it anytime now, just
Okay.
drop me an email. As soon as I see the email, then I go in and I make the adjustment. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So learning activities. Research a video or online resource on either stress or exam preparation and share it with your classmates in week 12 discussion. Okay, so just doing your own little self research on these topics that we've been looking at. And then in your response journal, actually, I'm going to also ask you to put that in your response journal. Okay, so a link or the resource. So I'm going to change that because I would like to see it when I read through the journals. It's good for me, and I don't always go back to the discussions till afterwards. I don't know who's put what sometimes. Okay, so response journal item. In your response journal, reflect on the course. Use these questions as guidelines only. Feel free to be creative. And they're just guideline questions. And believe me, guys, I appreciate everybody's honesty when they do these types of responses. I have no problem with people that say, yeah, this wasn't the course for me, which I hadn't taken it, that kind of thing. As long as you're explaining why, like, you know, and you're explaining what was useful, what wasn't useful, etc. Okay. And then, I have over the years changed the course based on some of these responses. These Zoom sessions were for people, you know, putting that in there that they would like to do something like this. Okay, and then finally, submit your journal for grading when it's complete. Okay. Yeah, so when week 12 is complete, if you can submit it for grading, that would be awesome. I'm always a little bit overwhelmed on week 13. Obviously, because I have a lot of the grading to do. And I'm just like you guys, I'd like to get this all done and dusted so I have a break over Christmas as well before the next set of courses starts. Yes, Chris.
One comment I would make is, well, two, I thought for sure this course was going to be teaching us learning strategies for students that we work with. So it had me, you know, confused at first, but it's good. But I really think they should put this earlier on in the program because I could have used it for, especially like the graphic organizers for doing essays, because I've done, you know, 5 or 6 essays by now. So it would have helped me for sure. But that's
yeah,
just a comment.
I've had that response from a lot of people, and I gave that feedback to the program directors and things, but they still list it at the end, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a lot of the people have said that for this course. And yeah, it's a bit of a mish between both things, like you said, like as far as learning strategies for working with students, but learning strategies for yourself as well. And I try to keep it that way throughout and balance it. And I think I said at the beginning, that's because this is an elective too, right? For others that aren't in this program. So I do try to do that, also saying cognizance that it's required course for the educational assistant program. So we have to do that as well. All right. I guess that's it, guys. unless you guys have anything else that you want me to answer or go through, I think I'm good.
I just wanted to say I appreciate all of your time in the last 2 courses that I've taken with you, and it's great to have these Zoom sessions and connect. So I do appreciate it. Thank you.
We're gonna miss you because we're used to seeing your face, and it has been one of those ones that we know we can depend on to guide us through. So thank you.
I really
Yeah.
appreciate that, guys. I really do.
Yeah, I agree as well, Terry. It's been really nice to be able to even have that resource, okay, I'm here in the meeting, but if I forget a week from now, I can go back and watch the video again. So it's been really great. I really do appreciate it.
Oh, thanks. And I really liked your dedication, guys, like for joining in. It actually helped me too, and I got to know you guys pretty well because of that. Even when I'm reading anything you submit or anything, I got the face to the name kind of thing. I appreciate that other people couldn't join because of the night maybe, but it is nice getting to know everybody for sure.
Well, I have to say, I appreciate that I now know more about apps than my kid does.
Good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I'm kind of, it's a little bit of sweet because I know a lot of you guys do work for Hamilton Wentworth Catholic, that I don't work there anymore. Otherwise, I would say I'd probably see you around at work, but I won't. And I don't right now plan on coming back at all. So.
Good for you. That's good. Enjoy
You need
it.
to relax.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, I may eventually in a couple of years, maybe I'll go back and supply or something, but not right now. I'm pretty happy not doing it right now. So, but you never know. I'm still young, so I might come back and supply, and I might
Yeah.
run into people. Okay.
Well, and wait till COVID's over because it's not as fun right now.
Yeah.
That's for sure.